Why did our school district decide to have our students experience Operation Prom Night?
Well, I think just was mentioned today, there's over 100, if not hundreds of deaths that occurred during prom and senior-related activities. I think it was important that we demonstrate the kids the effects that this would have if they made those poor choices themselves.
Why did our school district decide to have our students experience Operation Prom Night?
Our school district decided this due to the fact that students do make poor choices on prom night, and any amount of information that can be given to our students is a positive thing that can change the way our students think and change the choices that they make and they may make on prom night or on graduation night in regards to drinking and driving or getting in the vehicle with a person who has been drinking.
I hope that these students will see this program and see their friends being put in ambulances and body bags and a hearse, and that they will realize that this can happen to them and their friends and choose to not drink and drive.
What impact do you think this would have on students?
Well, I would hope it would demonstrate to the students, in a controlled manner is what we're doing here, that demonstrate the effects of what can actually happen. Everyone wants to have a good time, but there's no need, and it's not necessary to drink and drive. It's really not in your best interest to do so. So we're hoping through coming out here and demonstrating the effects to the students that they take a lesson home, and hopefully for the rest of their lives they won't drink and drive.
How did you get involved with Operation Prom Night?
Well, I've worked for a number of years on traffic safety issues. I was actually at one time the director of Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and I have worked as the DUI prevention advisor to the Secretary of State, Jesse White. I am a crash victim. When I was a teenager, my father and I were hit by a drunk driver. He hit us head on. He was going 90 miles an hour. I was in the passenger seat without a safety belt, so on impact I flew through the windshield, but only up to my shoulders, and I whiplashed back through a broken windshield, which did a lot of damage to my face. And I was subsequently hospitalized for 2.5 months trying to recover. So I am asked by the Ann Bleicher Operation Prom program to tell my story, to add a real twist to the reenactment that the students see.
What are some of the goals and objectives of Operation Prom Night?
Well, very clearly, it's to give a message to students that drinking and driving could be devastating for themselves and for their family.
I hope that they learn that what the effects are of drinking and driving, and that like I said, it's a heavy cross to bear for the rest of your life if you're involved in something like this, and it's something that's going to follow you the rest of your life, whether you're applying for jobs or trying to get in the military or whatever. It's and nowadays there's no slaps on the wrist. You're going to jail. Doesn't matter how old you are. So it's really in your best interest not to drink and drive.
What do you hope students will learn from Operation Prom Night?
Well, I hope they'll remember what they saw here today, not only for prom night, but any time that there's alcohol and there's driving involved. I hope that they'll remember the dangers and remember what happened to the people in the cars here.
What are some of the goals and objectives of Operation Prom Night?
Well, the basic goal is to just scare everybody into not drinking. The worst thing that can happen is for one of the kids to get hurt on prom night. So we want to make sure that they don't drink during their celebration.
Operation Prom Night is a program that's put on for seniors and sometimes juniors in high schools to remind them during the dangerous prom celebration time that they should not drink and drive and that they should make responsible choices. We're hopeful that the students are touched by the program, that they will hold it in their heart, the message that they shouldn't drink and drive. They can't drink and drive because it's illegal, and the right choice is to not drink and drive and not get in a car with a driver who's been drinking.
Why did our school district decide to have our students experience Operation Prom Night?
We feel like it's important for the students who are about to leave us in a couple of weeks and graduate onto their own lives, their own young adult lives, that they understand that the decisions that they make, once again, will impact not only themselves, their community, their families, and their other classmates. So we really hope that the program that they experience today will help them make healthy decisions, particularly tomorrow after their prom.
What do you hope students will learn from Operation Prom Night?
Well, very clearly, don't drink and drive. I mean, just from viewing what we saw a few minutes ago, certainly demonstrates the devastating effect that has on everyone. And I think the message came across very clearly to our kids.
How did Operation Prom Night get started?
I don't know the real beginning of Operation Prom Night, but this specific program is dedicated to Ann Bleicher, who was a friend of mine. She was a nurse, and she started working on an Operation Prom program a number of years ago. Unfortunately, 2 years ago, she died unexpectedly, and her daughters, she has 5 daughters, have taken over the program and are arranging it with the other schools in the Chicagoland area.
I hope students will learn the effects that drinking and driving has, the effects that it has on them if they do it, the effects that it has on them if they get into a car where somebody has been doing it, the effects that it has on the other people around them, the effects it has on people that they don't even know. I think there are so many things that drinking and driving affects, and a student doesn't understand it until all of a sudden it happens to them, or it happens to a friend of theirs, and now they're caught in this situation, and that needs to change.
What do you hope students will learn from Operation Prom Night?
We hope the students will learn that drinking and driving cause terrible, terrible tragedies. They're needless, senseless deaths and injuries. What we want them to learn is they can make the right choice. We know they can. I always say alcohol-related crashes caused by teens are crashes where they tend to kill themselves and their friends. Certainly they kill other people, but they tend to kill themselves and their friends, and in so many cases they're good teens making bad choices.
What do you hope students will learn from Operation Prom Night?
I hope the students learn that this can happen to them and their friends, and that they're not invincible. It does happen. It happens a lot, and we're trying to stop that.
What impact do you think this experience will have on our students?
I've seen Operation Prom Night before live and on video, and I've seen the effect that it has on the students. It really does work. It really does make them think about not using alcohol.
What impact do you think this experience will have on students?
I really think that what they're experiencing today is something that they will never forget.
What impact do you think the experience will have on students?
In speaking with students after this presentation is already done, I know it has had an impact on our students. I know that they are going to make better choices. And even if it's not them making the better choice, maybe it's their friend making the better choice and telling them to stop and not make that poor choice of drinking and driving or getting in the car with a drunk driver. I feel that these students have been shown numerous things and spoken to about numerous things that happen when drinking and driving goes on, and I feel we're going to, make more students make better choices.
I hope that you enjoyed this segment of 201 Today. As you can see, this was a massive undertaking to ensure the safety of our students during these activities. Many people were involved, and I'd like to thank those at the district level. Josh McMahon from the West Campus, Nicole Wojek from the East Campus, and Anthony Grazzini, the district administrator, for their vision and foresight of making this happen. In addition to that, I'd like to thank some very key people from our municipalities. From the police departments, Police Superintendent Bernard Harrison from the town of Cicero, and Chief Jim Ritz from the city of Berwyn. From the fire departments, I would like to thank Larry Moravasek, the fire marshal from the town of Cicero, and Dennis O'Halloran, the fire chief from the city of Berwyn. Without the leadership and support of Town President Larry Dominic and Mayor Robert Lavero, these events could have never occurred. So I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of those and all of the other numerous staff members and members from the local municipalities that participated in this event. Thank you from the bottom of our heart.